भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्ठिके कृष्ण सुधानुपगति धर्म ज्ञानादिभिः कलो नष्टदुषामेष पुराणवर्गधुनावलितः. Reading from Śrīmatī-Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter 19, swallowing the forest fire. Today the concluding verses of this chapter, text 15 and text 16. Text 15 and no purport, board 15. Okay, verse 16, text 16 is purport. So we'll read 15. 15. Okay. Then next verse, purport is next verse. Okay. Changing? Okay, 15. गासन्निवर्त्य सायाह्ने सह रामो जनार्दनः वेणुं विरणयन् वष्टम् आगाद् गोपैः अभिष्टुतः. I think next verse will read translation. It was now late in the afternoon, and Lord Kṛṣṇa, accompanied by Balaram, turned the cow's back towards home. Playing his flute in a special way, Kṛṣṇa returned to the cowherd village in the company of his cowherd friends, who chanted his glories. Text 16. 16 is there now? Okay. Gopīnām paramānanda āsīt govinda-darśane kṣaṇaṁ yuga-śatam iva yāsām yena vinābhavat. Word meaning: gopīnām of the young cowherd girls, paramānanda the greatest happiness, āsīt arose, govinda-darśane in seeing Govinda, kṣaṇaṁ a movement, yuga-śatam 100 millenniums, eva just as, yāsām for whom, yena whom, Kṛṣṇa, vinā without, abhavat, became. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The young gopis took the greatest pleasure in seeing Govinda come home, since for them even a moment without his association seemed like 100 ages. Please repeat. The young gopis took the greatest pleasure in seeing Govinda come home, since for them even a moment without his association seemed like 100 ages. Purport. After saving the cowherd boys from the blazing forest fire, Kṛṣṇa saved the cowherd girls from the blazing fires of separation from him. The gopis, headed by Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī, have the greatest love for Kṛṣṇa, and even a single moment's separation from him seems like millions of years to them. The gopis are the greatest devotees of Lord, and their specific pastimes with Kṛṣṇa will be described later in this work. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 19th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Swallowing the Forest Fire. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana-Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamahyam Tadati Swapadamikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanitamsya Namo Vishnupadaya Kṛṣṇa Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmatī Bhakti-vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Kṛṣṇa Prema Pradayate Kṛṣṇāya Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hariye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sannīvartya sayamni saha Rama Janardana venum viranayan gostham agad gopīr abhiskutah. It was now late in the afternoon, and Lord Kṛṣṇa, accompanied by Balaram, turned the cows back to our home. Playing his flute in a special way, Kṛṣṇa returned to the cowherd village in the company of his cowherd friends, who chanted his glories. Gopīnām paramānanda āsīd govinda-darśane kṣaṇaṁ yuga-śatam iva yāsām yena vinābhavat. The young gopīs took the greatest pleasure in seeing Govinda come home, since for them even a moment without his association seemed like 100 ages. So Kṛṣṇa was in Vrindavan. This pastimes in this chapter described is swallowing the forest fire. This happened in Vrindavan. Twice these pastimes happened. One time, and Kṛṣṇa swallowed fire after the killing of Kaliya Daman. After that, when Brajavasis were all Brajavasis, including Mother Jasoda, Nanda, and all types of devotees, all the Brajavasis, all types of devotees, those who have parental love, those who have friendship, those who have like Sakyas, and also this conjugal lover like Radharani and gopīs, all were there. That first fire, also Kṛṣṇa swallowed the fire, and now again here in this forest fire happened after when this Prabhupada was killed in Vrindavan. Then there the cowherd boys, including Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, they were underneath the Vrindavat, they are playing. And so these cows, they went far away, gradually went far away from them. And gradually they entered in the Munjo forest, a forest having big grasses, grass in a big size. And suddenly there is fires come all sides. This whole forest was fired. So the cows, they have no others, they are simply remembering Kṛṣṇa and Balaram, they are crying like anything, and in the meantime the cowherd boys, they are also not finding their cows nearby, they searching from them. And when they are about to find these cows, then they saw that though the cows and all the cowherd boys, and fire suddenly surrounded them from all sides. So in this situation also they all the cowherd boys, they pray to Kṛṣṇa, as in previous verses, they also pray to Kṛṣṇa. So Kṛṣṇa just asked them to close your eyes. So all the cowherd boys, they closed their eyes. Then immediately Kṛṣṇa swallowed all the fires. Because if these cowherd boys will not close their eyes and see the Kṛṣṇa, how Kṛṣṇa is swallowing oil power, then they will go to the village and they explain everything to Mother Jasoda, how is Kṛṣṇa is eating flower, only eating fire. So anyhow, this was Vrindavan, this pastime, and they are actually they went from herding cows from where? From Nandagram. That time Kṛṣṇa Balaram were in Nandagram with Mother Jasoda and Nanda Baba, and they are staying there in Nandagram. And Nandagram, Vrindavan is far away. But still, that time, because Kṛṣṇa was present and to facilitate the Kṛṣṇa's pastimes, Mother Earth sometimes squeezed, becomes small, and again it become broader. So anyhow, so here is description in 15th verse about after they herding the cows. Now Kṛṣṇa, when the forest fire has gone, and all the cowherd boys, they become very happy. When the cowherd boys saw that they had been saved from the forest fire by the Lord's mystic power, which is manifested by his internal potency, they began to think that Kṛṣṇa must be a demigod. Because out of their law, and they are also thinking, we are also, if Kṛṣṇa is demigod, we are also demigod, because Kṛṣṇa was very intimate friend. So the cowherd boys also thinking, not only Kṛṣṇa, they are thinking them for themselves also. If Kṛṣṇa is a demigod, then we may be also demigod, right? Like this, because sometimes Kṛṣṇa was defeated by Śrīmatī, the elder brother of Rādhārāṇī. So they are fighting. So in this way, now Kṛṣṇa, surrounded by all his cowherd boy friends, cows, now returning to the village, returning to Nandagram. And so now they are returning. But in this, we see in chapter, the gopis glorifying Kṛṣṇa's flute in Venugit, that chapter also, and text 5, 5th verse, their explanation of Kṛṣṇa, when Kṛṣṇa entering the Vrindavan forest, how this particular, how it looks like, how it is, how Brajavasis are, we are seeing, specifically the gopis, what they are thinking about Kṛṣṇa. Here is in part, there is Sukadeva Goswami very beautifully explained. Varahapidam natavara karnayo karnikaram vibhradvasa kanakakapisam vaijayanti chamala randhran venuadhara sudaya purayan gopavrindai vrindaranyan swapadaramanam pravisad gita kirti. So, wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, Varahapidam. Varahapidam, that is just wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head. Natavara Vapu, he is looking like a freshly dressed, a dancer just going to dance on the stage. Kṛṣṇa was dressed himself as like a dancer. And Karnayo Karnikaram, the blue Karnikara flowers on his ears, the Kanner food. That's in Hindi we talk Kanner food. But this Karnayo Karnikaram, Sridhar Swami wrote that this color of the flower is blue. That's why in translation they wrote blue Karnikara flowers on his ears. And Kṛṣṇa Vibhradvasa Kanakakapisam, a yellow garment as brilliant as gold. And Vaijayanti Chamala, the Vaijayanti garland, Lord Kṛṣṇa exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers as he entered the forest of Vrindavan. When Kṛṣṇa entered the forest, he will look like this, Vrindavan, beautifying it with the mark of his footprint, because Sopadaramanam, he has no shoes in his feet, he is walking in barefoot, and with a marks of footprints, he filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips, and the cowherd boys sung his glories. This is how gopis they sing when Kṛṣṇa entering Vrindavan forest, when they are living on the ground, from Terkadam, they living further. They come to understand how these gopis are observing that how Kṛṣṇa looks like. Now also Kṛṣṇa, after finishing his herding pastimes, now is in evening, he is returning. Kṛṣṇa is returning to his village, and the scenery is almost same but something little different, because Kṛṣṇa is now whole face is with dust, with a the dust that from cow hoofprints. This Kṛṣṇa is now is same. All the cowherd boys are surrounding Kṛṣṇa, but this verse is telling that gaha sannivritya sayanne. And it is evening, and after Kṛṣṇa collecting all the cows and cowherd boys, they are surrounding, and Kṛṣṇa was also accompanying Saha Rama Janardana Kṛṣṇa is also with Balaram. Venum Viranayam Gostham. Kṛṣṇa playing his flute in a special way. Kṛṣṇa is playing also flute, the same as, but Agat Gopair Abhisutam. Then Kṛṣṇa returned to the cowherd village in the company of his cowherd friends who chanted his glories. When they are going, entering the forest, cowherd boys also glorifying Kṛṣṇa, and also returning, they also glorifying Kṛṣṇa. They are chanting, always. Kṛṣṇa never remain alone. Kṛṣṇa with always something, either with Balaram or with Radharani or with his cowherd boyfriends or even a peacock with an animal, anything. Kṛṣṇa never remain alone. He always with some accompanying with other friends or other associates. So in this way, the cowherd boys was returning, Kṛṣṇa is returning along with Balaram, accompanying all the cowherd boys to his village Nandagram. And then next verse is describing, so when Kṛṣṇa was returning to village, when it is evening, then what is the situation of the gopīs? The cowherd boys are there in Sakhyaras now, the gopīs, their whole day, they are remembering Kṛṣṇa, they are waiting for Kṛṣṇa. That is their feelings. They are described in a 31st chapter in this 10th canto, that Kṛṣṇa, gopis are describing what happened to them. They themselves described that when Kṛṣṇa went to forest, how they are feeling. They are simply meditating Kṛṣṇa the whole day. They may be engaged outwardly some other activities, but inside, within, antare nishtha bahe loko vyavahar. Maybe outwardly they are working, doing their family activities. They are making garlands sometimes for Kṛṣṇa, so many things. But internally they are simply thinking about Kṛṣṇa. That is described here, and Gopi in 31st chapter, that what gopis are thinking. They are thinking your smiles, your sweet loving glances, the intimate pastimes and confidential talks we enjoyed with you, all these are auspicious to meditate upon, and they touch our heart. But at the same time, O deceiver, they very much agitate our mind. Like this, many. So, dear master, dear lover, when you leave the cowherd village to herd the cows, our mind are disturbed with the thought of your feet, more beautiful than lotus, will be pricked by the spikes, husks of grain, and the rough grass and plants. In this way, the next verse, this is exact like the same today's verse. Dina parikyaye nila kuntalai vanaruhananam bibhradabritam ghanarajaswalam darsayan muhur manasina smaram virayachasi. At the end of the day, you repeatedly show us your lotus face, covered with dust, blue locks of hair, and thickly powdered with dust. Thus, O hero, you arouse lusty desires in our minds. This here the same thing is in this verse is describing the gopis are becoming very happy seeing Kṛṣṇa. Gopīnām paramānanda āsīd govinda-darśane kṣaṇaṁ yuga-śatam iva yāsām yena vinā abhavat. So the young gopis took the greatest pleasure by seeing Kṛṣṇa is returning after the whole day playing with the cowherd boys and herding with cows, and after herding cows and playing with cowherd boys and returning in evening. Then the young gopis, they are thinking, they took the greatest pleasure in seeing Govinda coming back to their home. So, since for them, they are expressing their feeling that even a moment without his association seems like 100 ages. Yuga-śatam nimesana, like the ISKCON, you see. Yuga-śatam nimesana chakyusa prayusa-śatam sunya-śatam jagat-sarvam govinda-darśane. So this is the situation of the gopis. They are seeing the entire world vacant. They could not tolerate even a moment separation from Kṛṣṇa. They are thinking, constantly meditating on Kṛṣṇa. So this is this even in Gopi-Gita we see there is also find faults with Brahma, the creator. In one of the verses they tell you, when you are Kṛṣṇa, you are returning to the Braj, to our village. And your such beautiful face, we want to see you, see your face with curly hairs, and we try to see you constantly. But this Brahma, the creator, he created in such a way that in our eyes, in top of the eyes, he is making eyebrows. This is different. This eyebrows, and here is also some small hairs in eyes. So when we constantly try to see, they automatically brickling, they are coming down. So this is making a disturbance in seeing. Then they finding fault with Brahma. Brahma, they did not know how to create. How we create like this, he gave him only 2 eyes. Only 2 eyes to see you. We may have, Rupa Goswami also, we may have millions of eyes, millions of years to hearing the glories of Kṛṣṇa. So Gopi is thinking we can have millions of eyes to see Kṛṣṇa, but only 2 eyes, and there is also small hairs in top of these eyes, just they're disturbing us to see you constantly. So this is the gopis as the Prabhupada this Purport here. The Prabhupada disciples, they are writing even that gopis are the topmost devotees. Gopis headed by Śrīmatī Rādhārāṇī have the greatest love for Kṛṣṇa, and even a single moment's separation from him seems like millions of years to them. They are feeling so much separation, and they are seeing Kṛṣṇa returning to village, to Nandagram, they are so happy, and it is so in this way. Here is description of first what is the situation when they are returning to how cowherd boys, those who were in Sakyaras friendship, they are also enjoying Kṛṣṇa. Then daytime Kṛṣṇa was enjoying with his cowherd boy friends, those who were in Sakyaras, and with the cows, and after evening, in night. Now because Kṛṣṇa is becoming a little older, he is not, so that's why then he plays, he fulfills the desires of the gopis. This Terkadam in Nandagam we see, the Terkadam in daytime, Kṛṣṇa come there, and in the morning he also play flute on the Terkadam. But this flute playing is different. When he play flutes for the gopis, with this flute is working, doing all whatever Kṛṣna wants, he can do with his flute. Here by playing same flute, he culling the cows. Because Kṛṣna has also, Dinavanda Prabhu explained very nicely, Kṛṣna has also japmala in his hand. But in that japmala, Kṛṣna was chanting names of cows. He divided all his cows in 108. The first 4 groups, the 4 types of different color, like red, white, blackish and blue, or like this. Then they make them into 4 groups, then make them 25 each, then 100. Then 8 special cows, like those faces like mudanga, and those are chandin, there's some spot in their head, like this. Someone's horn is like different, like this. There are 8 different. In this way there is 108 group. And these 108 groups, so Kṛṣna has also japmala having 108 group, mala. But he is chanting names of cows. We are chanting Kṛṣna's name. But Kṛṣna is chanting the name of cows. Different cows. It's called Chandini, then all cows, that group there are. And Shyamali, like this, it chant different cows' name. Then all the cows come together. They make all cows together. Dhawali, like this. So all cows, making all cows in Terkadam together. Then Kṛṣna start his journey from there. All the cowherd with his all the cowherd boyfriends, they also come. And Kṛṣna start from there. From Terkadam they go, whatever they plan to go to their destination. And they just like they destined to come Bhandirivan. So in this way Kṛṣna, in daytime he enjoys his pastimes with his cows and cowherd boys. But in night, same. Kṛṣna come to the kadama tree, then he plays flute, calling the name of gopīs. In this way, Kṛṣna is the supreme enjoyer. Kṛṣna has nothing to do with anything. He gave everything to everyone. He distributed all his departments. Though he is the supreme personality Godhead, but he has no headache. He gave everything to others. To creation to Brahma, to maintenance to Vishnu. Taba ichha mate Brahma karene srijana, taba ichha mate Vishnu karene palana, taba ichha mate Shiva karene sandhana. Destruction, everything for Shiva. And water department to whom? Indra. The fire department, the fire god, there is the air god, there are different demigods in department heads. Then Kṛṣna is nothing to do. He has he did not give one department to anyone. Which department? He distributed all departments to different personalities, but one department he kept with him. He kept the Gosala department. This department with Kṛṣna. Kṛṣna personally heading cows and taking care of the cows. Though in material world, it's just opposite. If you'll see, anyone think, oh, he's going herding cows, someone get the seva in Gosala, then you'll think, oh, this is very too much. You'll just collecting the cow dungs and just cleaning the Gosala, all these things, this is very not good. But Kṛṣna is from his childhood, when he was babies, he was just, Kṛṣna and Balaram, they are playing with in the cups. He was smearing their bodies with the cow dung and cow urine, and he was playing everywhere. So that is Kṛṣna. The whole, they keeping their department, Kṛṣna keeps with them. Do not give to anyone. So those are very fortunate, those, because simply associating with the cow, one can come into the mood of goodness. Cow is always in mood of goodness. Cow is always in mood of goodness. That's why his urine, even stool, everything is pure. Everything is pure. Is always in mood of goodness. Simply by associating cows and serving cows, one can become very dear to Kṛṣna. one can automatically come to the mood of goodness and can perform devotional service. And they can go to even to the above moods, gunatrita. So that's why cows, even in the altar, Krishna Balaram standing and there is cows sitting both sides. Cows is sitting. So in daytime Krishna was with his cows and on the cowherd boys, and in night he with gopis. He has nothing to do with all this, any headache. He gave all this service to others, and he is always. That's why he is the supreme enjoyer. Supreme personality of Godhead is the topmost personality of Godhead, but he is the topmost enjoyer also. He is Ishvara. Ishvara Parama-Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karanam. That's why Prabhupada gave us this process of worshipping Krishna. If there is one name of God, then that name is Krishna. Prabhupada told in perfect question, perfect answer, he told that if there is one name of God, then that is Krishna. There is no other name. Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and our movement is also International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Someone may give proposal to make it God consciousness, but Prabhupada told no. Krishna consciousness. We have to know the people that who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, in this chapter is concluded with these pastimes, that how Krishna is returning from forest, from Bhandirivan to Nandagam, and how when he is returning to home, how he was surrounded by the cowherd boys and cows, and when he come nearby the village, the gopis, they are just waiting to welcome Krishna. They are becoming very happy. Who? Gopis become very happy. As it describes that gopīnāṁ paramānanda. They are that gopīnāṁ paramānanda. So Krishna is the greatest happiness. By seeing Krishna, gopis are just getting supreme happiness, the greatest happiness, govinda-darśane. By seeing Govinda, Krishna, they become very happy. And when Krishna in forest, the kṣaṇaṁ yuga-śatam eva. It was looks just they feeling separation from Krishna. Since for them even a moment without his association seemed like 100 ages. So this is the perfection of life. So Hare Krishna. Any question or comment? Yes. Hare Krishna. Can you speak like this?
Maharaj, thank you very much. Beautiful explanation of how gopis were always Krishna conscious, and like the way it said in the translation and purport of this verse, that a moment of separation to them seemed like 100 yugas. And basically the success of being Krishna consciousness, of Krishna consciousness, is actually always remembering Krishna, never forgetting Krishna. But then this particular application in the material world is very, very difficult, wherein we can always be immersed in thoughts of Krishna, we can think of him, even when we are not chanting Hare Krishna. And the difficulty is while chanting, our mind takes us away from Krishna. How do we synchronize everything in a way that while chanting and even while not chanting, we can think of Krishna?
So we must know what is the position of the gopis. Gopis are not in our platform. They are not in our platform. Gopis are the topmost devotee of Kṛṣṇa. They already achieved perfection. They are not sadhaka. We are sadhakas. So that's why we have we cannot immediately come to that stage. That the gopis, they are 24 hours meditating Kṛṣṇa. Whether is there association of Kṛṣṇa or in any place they are staying. They even in separation, when even Kṛṣṇa in Mathura or Dwarka, they are still remembering day and night Kṛṣṇa. When Kṛṣṇa was in Braja, they are making garlands from Kṛṣṇa, and when Kṛṣṇa was not there, they are also making garlands. And when Kṛṣṇa not come, they cry. So their platform is different. They are not. We cannot attain that platform immediately. We are sadhakas, so we have to do sadhana bhakti following the instruction of spiritual master, shastra, and sadhu. And gradually, this is the platform of Uttam Vaishnava. Sthapara jangama dekhe, na dekhe tar murti, sarvatra hai tar ishtadeva spurti. Wherever they see Kṛṣṇa. They don't see anything. When they see tamal tree, Radharani sees Kṛṣṇa. Embrace the tamal tree. So we are not in that platform. But gradually, we cannot jump. So gradually we know ourselves. What is the greatest enemy? Kṛṣṇa told, Yahi Satru Mahavaho Kama Rupa Sudaskaram. Third chapter, end of the concluding third chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Kṛṣṇa told, Arjuna, recognize your enemy. This is your enemy. Who? Kama. So we can know fast. Fast sadhaka should know how much lusty desires are with me. So gopis and Kṛṣṇa, they are not lust, looks like lust, they are lusty desires, but they are not like that. Is that the opposite? So you can see when you give up these lusty desires, all these things, kama rupa ari dure tyagivu hrudaya spurive tumi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. When that day come, O Gopīnāṁ, I can just kick out this kama, there will be no lust. Kama rupa ari, this is the greatest enemy. When you give up this, then Kṛṣṇa, we can see Kṛṣṇa in your heart. Kama rupa ari dure tyagivu hrudaya spurive tumi. Then Kṛṣṇa will be in heart. We can carry Kṛṣṇa. First we have to become anartha nivritti. When we are still in anartha, then how can we think about is very. That's why Prabhupada gave us the sadhana bhakti. So it is not possible immediately, but gradually, especially when we give up lust, then Kṛṣṇa is always eager to help us, but we must be qualified to take his help, to serve him. Okay? Any question? Yes. माइक काम कर रहे हैं?
Is it material also that you have married the love, or just general needs like
When it's what is the question?
What is the speaking to the
Yes. Kṛṣṇa was chanting the names of cows. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting the name of gopīs. So this is different. So the Supreme Personality, when Kṛṣṇa was chanting the name of cows, they are getting so much pleasure. And the cows also running when Kṛṣṇa is calling. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is alone also chanting gopīs' name. But general people, they cannot understand this. What is happening? We cannot imitate this. We have to follow what the Supreme Personality of Godhead instructed for us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to simply chant Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant and be happy. So we cannot imitate Supreme Personality of Godhead, but we can follow his instructions. Okay. Your question? Okay. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।